Hey everybody, it's Ron Bass with another edition of Soar High Personal Development, your source for inspiration. Joining me today is Brent Atterbury. Oh, I started on this side instead of that side.
Yeah.
Marketing guru and father, son, et cetera,
Yeah.
stuff
Sure.
like that. Gavin Hunley with an I, Mr. Producer,
That's me.
producer of fine things in life.
Everything.
Music, podcasts, live events, beat making,
Videos. Music videos. Coming soon.
He produced a new sandwich opportunity to me earlier.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Not sponsored by Sonic.
Oh, okay. I like Sonic. Sonic's good.
Not sponsored, though. They didn't pay us.
And then over here in the corner, hiding almost with his hat on and his hoodie, is Mr. Mike Rose.
I'm here.
Martial artist extraordinaire.
Best pecs in the world.
Gym owner.
I can flex them too.
Can you?
Yeah.
Fitness guru. This guy takes me to the gym. It's unreal, man. He's like, he doesn't mess around.
Hey, we're in and out, bro.
Fitness, man, is so important. I know
We're
I
in
preach
and
on it
out.
all the time, but at any rate, today's topic is, you might ask, what is it, Ron? We're going to talk about, well, it's a form of discrimination. We're going to talk about inequalities. And you might ask me, well, what is that? Well, like in the real world, women versus men, black versus white, particularly in the job market, how does that go down? Young versus old, small business owners versus government. Because really, if you think about it, business competitor is government in the sense that they're after the tax dollar. The business owner's after the customer dollar. So there's a lot of competition there for that money. Just as another side note, I was talking to a salesperson the other day, and back in the day, we used to have a lot of females coming into our office to sell services or goods. We used to call them skirts because typically I know it's kind of crazy, but that's what we used to call them because they
You get fired for that
would,
today.
I know you today's word.
Yeah.
But the business owner would use an attractive young woman to come in to sell the goods and services. Why? Because sex sells. And now, if it was a woman going to see a woman, but most business owners are men, not women, right? Which is a part of the reason we're talking about this today, because there's so much discrimination, female versus men. How much does a woman make versus a man make in the same job? Well, everybody knows typically they make a lot less. So this is kind of where I'm going with this today. There's a lot to talk about. Where's the fairness in all this? Well, there's not a lot of fairness in these discussions because it isn't fair, but it's reality. So what do you guys have to say? Brent? Mr. Talkative?
Brent's face is just...
Well, just pick one of these ideas and we'll go from
There's
there.
a lot there.
Well, that's
and
true.
I
Okay, let's talk about
usually-
men versus women
I don't-
in business, men versus women as far as income, job. Like
You know
job.
what? This shit to haunt him.
all I know is you're right, and sex sells today in marketing and
Still
advertising.
sells.
It still sells.
Yes.
Now, it works on both sides. It's not just woman,
How well does it
male.
sell?
It shouldn't be that way,
it
but it
sells
is that
great.
way.
It's a top like pick.
It is still it's still in the high percentage of getting results. The number one word in marketing and advertising that sells more than anything is free. Always has been for
Free.
100 years.
Free.
Has been for 100 years. Still is. Even though it's a little corny and cheesy and some people don't believe it, it still works. But
You don't think maybe it's been for 200 years? Maybe
I believe it's 100.
I believe
I believe
you come up with like a
it's in some
It's
marketing
funny,
book
it's
that
funny
I read.
how people come up with these
In the-
numbers and then they just throw them out there.
But he has experience though.
He's
Oh, that's
100.
It's in a marketing book. I
So-
can't remember
It's in a
which
marketing
one.
book?
It is.
So
Yeah.
But how would somebody?
I won't say it's been only 100 years. It's been over 100
I'm
years.
just making fun of the idea
Okay.
that people throw out things out there,
Okay.
and they can't really back it up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's just the way we are. Is
But I
Humans.
will say too, in business, I was taught a long time ago, you eat what you kill. So whether you're male or female, if you go out there and you do the job, you should get paid, no matter if you're male or female. It
Okay,
doesn't
but how
matter.
about this scenario? You take a good-looking gal going into an office with a male owner versus a guy coming in with the same presentation. Who's going to more likely get the sale?
How old
woman.
is the
It
male?
depends on the guy sitting on the other side of the desk, what their views
If he's a
are.
homosexual or not? If he likes
No,
the guy?
if
versus-
it's a-
whoa,
if
whoa,
it's-
whoa.
if it's heterosexual.
someone-
We can't just jump into that.
I'm not saying. I'm asking. I'm
saying
This
if
is
it's
like
a,
a question mark.
if it's someone that has logical thinking and
Mike
is
knows where
more-
I'm going with
Yeah,
this.
and is
Nobody else
more on
gets
the-
it.
I do.
On the number side, they're going to side with the one that makes the most sense for the business.
Nobody
if it's
gets
somebody,
me except Mike.
sorry, if it's somebody that is not logical in thinking, that deals on emotion with a lot of their decision making,
The guy's got no shot compared to the gal. And that's
not
I
if the
disagree.
guy
I
on the other
disagree.
end of the
Sorry.
fence is
I
a logical
disagree.
thinker. If this other guy comes in with a better
Nobody's
presentation,
logical when it comes to sex and when it comes to women, man.
That's-
People
No,
are
I
going to go
disagree.
that direction.
I disagree.
Mike, what do you think?
I say.
Do you agree with me or disagree with
I
me?
do agree with you.
Thank you.
But it's the only reason I would say I agree with him because most men, he's talking about perception, like if the logical thinker, which he's supposed to be professional, but most most business owners are
Think
slobs,
with their-
kinda,
what?
and They think with their dick.
Thank you.
But I think
It
Brent-
shouldn't be that way.
I think
maybe 20 years ago, maybe 10 years ago.
I think, Brent,
I don't
you-
know about today though.
yeah, it's not as prevalent.
I think
I don't agree with
maybe
that.
in an old school way, maybe I could see it being more professional, but I don't know. People are so entitled.
Nothing's
now.
perfect, but
No.
I'm just trying to lean on the averages, lean on the percentages, lean on the what
percentages
probably
are
what
skewed.
probably is most likely to happen.
A good salesperson with the worst product can outsell the bad salesperson with the best product. So if the female has the worst product, this better salesperson is going to win every time. If the female is a better salesperson, it doesn't matter if
Probably,
it's a female or male,
probably
they're going to win.
But it's an uphill battle for the guy versus the
I
girl in the
disagree.
same scenario.
Think of it if say a woman brings me a beat or brings Mike a beat and she's good looking and Mike's like, I want to work with her because she's good looking.
Yeah,
her
but
beat
this
is
isn't
garbage.
that's not a sales scenario. We're talking
Yes,
about
it is because you said
no.
yes.
We're
you
talking
have to
about
sell a
somebody
beat.
coming into my office wanting to sell me advertising. If it's a female versus a guy, I'm more likely to buy from the female.
But what if she has no idea what the hell she's talking
Well,
about?
then I'm probably not going to buy from her.
Perfect. That's my point.
But if she knows what she's talking about and she's pretty and she's sexy, I'm probably going to her.
You're saying it's a bonus. That's
Yeah,
all. That's all
I'm
I'm trying
saying
to say.
it improves the odds.
Sways the decision.
It
Yeah.
sways.
That's a fucked up bonus.
It may be, but that's reality. And
That's the way-
this is why I'm talking about
Yeah.
this today, because you have to be realistic about these things when you're out in the real world trying to sell your wares or your services or yourself.
Sex sells.
Sex sells. I don't care if it's just in any kind of watch how a guy treats a girl versus treats another guy in a social setting. I promise you the guy's a lot nicer to the girl than he is to the guy.
It
Am I right or
depends-
wrong?
No, you're wrong because it depends on if the guy
Just don't be a
I don't know
fool.
what world this guy's from. I don't get it, man.
I'm from this generation where
Okay.
a lot of people are a lot more equal and we don't think about women as an object.
Oh, okay.
They're more as a person,
well,
in my opinion.
I don't agree with you, but that's fine.
That's
That's
fine.
what that's
We
what
don't have to
we don't
agree.
have to agree with each other.
That's
Okay,
not-
well, let-
Ron,
yes.
Ron, I do agree with you in a sense, just because of the shit I've seen in my background, But yeah, Brent, I did have a question though.
Yeah.
Okay, about like market advertisement. Okay, so I know this is kind of off topic, but I was trying to stop you, but I was waiting till you was talking. But why do some billboards or some people have their shit like backwards? Not because of the rear view, but because it wouldn't make any sense.
catches you by surprise.
It's
So
because
I want to know what
it's
that's
because
called.
it's because I believe the number roughly is about
Wow.
An estimate.
I can't remember what exactly the number
Can
is.
we get your
but we're-
hypothesis?
The average person is exposed to over like 10,000 or so messages per day. What are messages?
Jeez.
Messages are logos on cups or bumper stickers, little things on the back of windows, billboards, ads on the radio. And what did you remember
name on a
coming
pin.
in today? What did you remember seeing on the way? Most people don't see or hear any of that because they kind of block it out. They do that to get your attention and make you and force you to read the billboard. Does it always work and drive more people to that business? No, it doesn't. But it does make you look at it, do a double take, and figure out what it said or read it. If it's upside down,
Yeah,
if it's
I've seen
backwards, it's a tactic to make you look at it. But it doesn't always produce the results at the end of the month, at the end of the year, more sales for what I spent on that board. Did I get the sales?
So do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea?
Yeah.
I think it's a bad idea.
Bad idea.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
kind of like a
Because
shock
because
value.
it's an easy way to get you to look.
I have
There's
another
more
question
creative
for you.
ways to get you to look and make you want it, make you want to go
Yeah.
there.
I see.
I have another question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you know why people touch people?
Don't say
I
homosexual
don't know how to
shit.
answer that.
Do you know?
you're
you know what? You
scared.
know what this represents? When people touch people versus not touching people?
It's more like comfort.
No.
No, Mike. Do you know what it means?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll tell you what it means. It means that you're showing
Yeah,
respect
it's type- yeah, it's
or
sign
a,
of
a like to the person.
Yeah.
If you don't touch the person, usually it represents that you're not sure how you feel about the person.
Yeah.
That's the
So a little
psychology
bit
of it.
comfort as well.
Yeah. That's the psychology. Okay, now on another topic, why is it that in today's world there is so much information coming to the consumer? Why is there so much more marketing going on now than there was when I was growing up? It wasn't that crazy. It wasn't like 10,000 things a day coming to me. It might have been maybe a few hundred. What's changed over the
It's
last
advent,
50 years?
It's the advent of digital and
Digital.
and the internet. Yes, when you take the internet, you got to include social media. You got to include the internet. It is when you see.
Why are we being
billboard-
so bombarded? Is it because of digital? Is that
Why
what you're
are we-
saying? Yeah. Is that what's up?
We're being
bombarded with
because
information.
people want you to buy their stuff.
Right, but why is it so different now than it was years ago? What's
Because
the
there's
difference?
more mediums.
More mediums.
Yes.
Give me an
20
example.
Years, 20 years ago in our market, and this would go for any market.
Springfield, Missouri. Where we're
Springfield,
from.
Missouri, you could go on the number one television station, the number one radio station, KYTV, KGTS, and the Springfield News Leader, and reach approximately almost 100% of the entire
Wow.
population.
3 mediums.
Yes, you could almost reach 100%.
And-
It is so fragmented now. We have in this market is not different than a lot of markets, but we have over 30 radio stations.
30 radio stations.
Yes, that are in the listening area. That doesn't count
Wow.
internet. And see, on the internet, you can
Wow.
listen to any radio station in the world.
Wow.
So the internet has opened up all kinds of doors and opportunities, and the internet now is a mechanism where people go there for research or information. They may see a television ad or see the billboard and then go online. Then they're bombarded with ads. And then if I click on it, then that ad follows me now for 2 or 3 weeks. It's called retargeting.
Is marketing gotten better as an industry generally? Has it gotten smarter? Or are business owners gotten greedier? Is there more people, so there needs to be more marketing sources, more marketing entities?
all of the above.
All the above.
Yeah, there's more people. There's businesses want more. It's harder, so you got to be more creative.
Got to be more creative
Yeah.
to get your piece of the marketplace.
Yeah.
So the reality is that you're saying to me that it's just we're being bombarded for all these reasons.
Yes.
But is bombarded a good word?
Yeah.
Is that
It's a good
is
word.
that fair?
I think exposed is a better
Yeah.
word. You're exposed to all this now.
What if
you
we
can't
get-
remember it all, but you can remember some of it.
But you're feeling bombarded. You're feeling like
Kinda.
I think it depends because, say, for me, like, I don't feel like I'm bombarded with ads. I just know that they're there.
We're so used to it.
Yeah, I'm
see.
just on
Yes,
it
yes,
every
yes.
day.
You're talking to
what
somebody.
trips
in a
your
different
trigger
time.
versus other things, or like other advertisements.
But you're talking to somebody at a different time. He's had a phone. Probably by what age you had a phone?
6th grade.
Okay.
So,
So for me,
11?
I didn't get a phone until I was fucking like 18.
I see.
So it's like the
Yeah.
times are different. So like he's probably more used to like, I'm not saying bad for him. It's just that the times are different.
Now, what was crazy was when ads started to really happen on social media.
And that was what?
2014
Yeah.
is when it
Yeah.
really like kind of trickled in. But before that, you may remember this, Brent. In like the 2010s, 2012s, like when phones were brand new and social media was brand new, you didn't really see ads.
No,
you saw people
no.
selling stuff through their accounts,
Right.
but you didn't see like clickable
Right.
send me to the website.
Let me interject here and tell you an ad story. Are you ready for this one? So when I was a kid, cable television was just starting. This is 50 years ago, right? Or even more than that. And the whole idea of cable television was that you didn't have to, ready? You didn't have to see advertising. You paid a fee every month, $10 a month, whatever it was back then, and you got to watch whatever you were watching without interruptions. Well, guess what? That changed.
Money.
Greed, money, whatever. More investors needed more money to justify their investment, whatever. And then all of a sudden you had ads and you had to pay a fee. Now, it's the same way with just about every medium in today's world, where you start off as a subscription-based concept so you don't have to watch ads, and then guess what happens? Now there's ads almost on along with the subscription, which I don't agree with. I don't think it's right, but
See,
Not
what's
in
happening-
every case, but
Yeah,
That's
so
this
like
way
what's
it
happening,
is.
say that we had millions of viewers and 1,000 of them were paid subscriptions.
Yes.
So to our main million, we have an ad for Sonic and we run it. And then to our 1,000 that are subscribed, that episode or the next episode doesn't have an ad. They don't have to pause for our advertisement. Go
But
ahead.
the whole idea of subscription should be and was, and I think should stay, and it isn't, that you don't have advertisements.
Right.
But that's not the way of the world.
and I love talking about this because this is my
This is your gig.
this is my
this
homie
is-
space my
I like
this
that.
is where I'm
See,
this
I
is
like
where I
that.
live and swim but I know
swim?
we've
I
I've
didn't
got
know you could swim.
I can but we've gotten off track.
How come black people
We're
can't
talking.
swim?
Well, you
said
said
that
that
last
before,
time.
and that's
Or is that
what
a
I
myth?
was gonna-
we don't.
Or is that a myth?
We can't say stuff like that.
And
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
pure
it's
black or is it
horrible.
mixed?
No,
we
it's
can't
because-
say
How does
stuff
that
like
work?
that.
Oh, okay,
I have
okay.
mixed feelings about this.
You have mixed feelings.
Listen, I do. Go ahead.
No,
Funny.
we need to get back.
Yeah,
on
I'm,
track.
Play on-
I'm gonna
we
get.
do.
I'm,
Mike's
gonna get you back on topic.
Mike's
right
so
here.
good about playing on words.
Yes.
I don't want to be on topic. Being on topic
No.
is boring.
No. I get.
Let's
it.
talk
No,
about what
I'm
we
talking
want to talk about.
No, I'm down the list. I'm gonna go down the list.
Okay.
Okay, so I think you were talking about the race versus like white and black.
Yeah. So how does that play out in the real
In-
world,
in my-
in jobs or
in,
business?
In my opinion, my father's darker than me, and I know it was hard for him getting a job sometimes. So
Hard to get a job.
Yeah, he put Caucasian on the application because they ask you what race you are.
Wow.
So the only reason he did that is so he get his foot in the door.
Wow.
And obviously, he didn't want to do that, but he had no choice because there are a lot of racism
Yeah,
still around.
The numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
yeah.
There is racism still
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
But I have my own stories, but I don't. Well, that's for another podcast. But what I'm saying is that, for you, like say when you went to church, you went to a Jewish church, right?
Yeah.
You,
Being Jewish.
yes. So think about this in this perspective. If those motherfuckers weren't Jewish, would you feel comfortable? Your nationalities kind of
Right.
make you more comfortable.
Right.
So I think with the race thing and stuff, I think it's better today because of the think about like the sexual stuff or
Is
like,
it better or is it just more covered up? Maybe
I think
do
I think
people
half
still
and
have
half.
those feelings though?
I think people still have those feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
why
still
why
do.
would somebody not like a black person versus what? What's
It's called
makes-
ignorance.
Yes.
But what brings that to play? What is it? Is it the way they're taught as a child?
Yep. And history.
Yeah.
History.
How they're
Yeah,
raised,
yeah.
what they hear growing
Yeah.
up.
But
How about fat people versus skinny people? How about
Well,
old
we will hear in a
versus
same
second.
young?
We
thing.
will hear in a second.
How about
Same thing.
We will hear in a second. But
rich versus poor?
I'm saying you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable with your nationality. So you're gonna ask your nationality, hey, where'd you get your job from? Because I want to go work where you're gonna go work. Because they're gonna feel way more comfortable working there. So so when I'm saying racism's still around, I believe
As bad as it used to be? Better.
I would say better, but I'd say it's
depends
covered
what
up.
You think
time
it's
are you talking
better?
About used to be like, couple hundred years ago
Yeah.
or 10 years ago?
10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Better. It's
Better.
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 Because the old ones are dying off.
I think, well, I would say that, like,
That's funny.
it's better, but it's,
Yeah.
like, kind of on that thin line of, like, you know, it's still kind of there, like, so Madison and I will be walking through a store, and, you know, this doesn't happen often, but sometimes, you know, we'll get that look, you know, well, you guys wouldn't know, no offense, but you get a look
I know.
of, yeah, you would know, but these two
know.
wouldn't.
You're talking about black versus white?
talking about interracial.
An interracial
Oh,
couple.
okay.
We get a look
But you don't really look black.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
he's mixed. You can tell he's mixed.
Yeah.
I don't think he looks black. To me,
Well,
he
that's
looks more like
because-
he has a good tan.
That's because you're not racist.
Oh, I see.
No,
I see.
I'm racist. No,
He has
racist
an
against my own
amazing tanning
kind.
bed.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, you can
Yeah.
tell by his nose. His
Is
nose
that
is the
really?
first key. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
His
I don't
nose.
know.
He has nose.
Big
first
nose
key.
Jews have big nose, but I had a
Yeah.
nose job years ago
Yeah.
because I didn't like the. Did you know that facial? The reason that plastic surgery is so successful is because it's all mathematics. If you have you take somebody that's got a weird nose or a pointed chin.
You're talking symmetry.
Yeah, symmetry. It makes them much more attractive.
Yes.
That's why plastic surgery is
Symmetries.
so successful.
Symmetry.
You
is
can
key.
change somebody's look so quick with just a few things. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's just like, you know, when you're walking through the store, you get a look of, like, why is she with that boy?
I see what you mean. That's
And-
crazy.
He
And it
got that
also-
man. Hey, you got the
She
mandingo.
called you boy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Not
you
man.
got the mandingo. That's why they're mad.
Mandingo.
That's why they're mad.
Yeah.
Mandingo, that's it.
Oh, no.
That's why they're mad,
Let's not get
Davin.
into this. Let's
Dad,
not get
that's
into
why
this.
they're mad.
Let's not get into
Mandingo story, that's a big story.
That's
Not to
why
use
they're
a
mad
pun,
at you,
but-
Do you hear
boy.
him? Do you hear him? Do you hear him?
Mandingo.
All right, next topic. Next topic on this.
You guys are crazy.
Well, I think that it's definitely, you know, a little bit better than it was 10 years ago. I think that here in Missouri, it's kind of hard to gauge because it's Missouri.
No, it
Springfield
is.
they were going to call
bad.
Springfield White City years ago. They
Well-
hung blacks in the center of the town.
Yeah.
Like in
we
the
were
square.
the last recorded lynching
It's
was
crazy.
in our town square.
I think, you know what I think the psychology is. It makes people feel better if they've got something over on somebody. Their self image is so poor, they don't feel successful. So that makes them feel better to be like to have something over on somebody else. So if you're not as superior, if I'm more superior than you, I feel better about myself. That's the psychology of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Same thing with
Yeah.
Jews. I mean, they put the Jews and the blacks.
Why is Jews
have a
good
sim-
with money?
Huh? Why are Jews? Because they weren't able to get jobs either. They had to have their own businesses,
Yeah.
and so that was another discrimination thing. The Jews, you know, versus
Yeah.
the Christians versus there's discrimination everywhere. But that's what we're talking about it today. That's why we're talking about it today. But primarily in the job market and in the business world, I'm telling you that the females have it bad compared to guys in the business world. It's
do
not.
agree.
It's not nearly as easy. Now, can they overcome that? Sure. Can they be successful? Absolutely. Are they? In many cases, yes. But I want to get it out in the open and talk about it. Why is that a problem?
I want to state one thing before they speak because I understand it. So and he does too. I know he does, but I'm sure you two don't yet. I'm sure I have an understanding. But me and him could relate off this a little bit. Why I think that the man gets paid a little bit more than the woman or the experience. So you tell me which one's smarter, having both the spouses work and then paying for daycare, and she'll be paying for daycare basically, or I'll be paying for daycare. So it's just better. It's cheaper, better lifestyle to keep the child at home, and the man's going to work. The man develops experience, has the grit and does the dirty work.
Yeah.
The women weren't designed to go crawl in their motherfucking house, crawl in the attic, pick up a fucking tool. They
could learn it.
They can. But I'm saying right now, like when it comes to that stress as like a man, I just don't think. And personally, I don't.
You're
think,
more of a traditionalist.
I am. But
Yeah.
I don't see a grown woman going down to something like in the trenches under a house.
I've hired a few
You know what I
female
mean?
mechanics over the years, but only a handful.
But I'm talking like
Very few. No,
construction.
you're right.
I'm
Very
talking like
few.
HVAC. I'm talking plumbing.
I'm
talking like
I'm
dealing with
saying
shit
I've
all day.
interviewed those people.
Did
and
it-
seldom has it ever worked out with women
It
in
won't.
my trades.
It won't because why? The entitlement. If they want to get paid that much, you start doing that work then, because that
Yeah.
work.
Here's another
is for a different
subject. Why
breed.
is it takes both husband and wife to make ends meet? You know, here's
Because
my
entitlement.
no,
that's
but
it.
here's my opinion why it takes husband and wife to make ends meet. Because in today's world, people are so pressured to
3 minutes.
to buy things and to like everything's payments. When I was coming up, you paid
Subscriptions, you mean?
Well,
No.
payments, subscription,
What?
car payment, insurance payment, vacation payment, expense. Let's just spend everything we make here. 70% of Americans, they say, are living paycheck to paycheck.
You want to know why? Because everything's expensive as shit.
Hey,
That's
$10,
part of it.
$1
No,
now.
I think the
$10,
biggest
$1
No,
now.
I think
Exactly.
I think the biggest problem. That's a problem. I think the biggest problem is we're not trained when we're growing up to be more conservative how we spend money. We should save a percentage of everything we make. We're not taught that. We're not taught that anymore.
I was taught
you're
that
right.
Well, then-
by my grandparents.
well, then-
Most people
Here's,
are
then
not.
you're an exception
here's
to
the
that
thing,
rule.
though. Here is the biggest thing. The minimum wage is still not $8, yet things are getting more and more and more and more expensive. Because this, say Nike sells a shoe for $50 and I have $100, I'm buying one pair of shoes, and then the rest of the other 50 is being
But
saved.
you're missing the whole point.
I think he's getting the point.
No, he doesn't get the point. Here's the point. The point is, he's all been stoic now. Like, screw you, Ron. The point is that you have to live within your means, and people don't do it. They borrow money on everything. You know why they borrow money? Because of marketers that pressure people. Hey, come on down to the bank. We'll loan you the money for the boat and the car and the this and the that. And we think, oh boy, I'm
hell
special
yeah.
because
Hey,
they're going to give me credit.
big
But you know what
chest.
happens?
Get
We get
fucked.
over our heads.
Yeah.
Then what happens when one of the money makers in the family, like the wife or the husband, can't work because they get whatever, injured or lazy
Get her
or
pregnant.
get her pregnant, or he goes crazy on drugs or alcohol or mental illness or whatever, and then the income drops. Then what happens? You can't make the payments. You have to. You should pay as you go. You shouldn't even use credit, in my opinion. But go ahead.
You're both right.
Other
You're both right.
than real estate.
You're both right. Things have gotten crazy expensive. All of and I'm just going to speak for the last 24 months. I've got 4 business owners where their products have gone up anywhere between 20 and 40%. When you're talking 40%, now I'm not, and when you're saying 40%, I'm talking about something that might have cost $12,000 before you to buy, and it's 18, 20,000. I mean, big numbers, big changes, and the wages aren't keeping up with that. You're right. We do need to be taught to save, but
And we're not
but on
taught
the
that.
marketing side, I can go into any business if I have somebody that's willing to do what it takes and they want skin in the game and they have the budget to do it. We can go in and
Create more income.
We can create either payments. We can offer financing. We can make it really easy for the customer to say, "Dang, I don't have $20,000, but I can afford $300 a month. I'm in." And it happens.
Financing has given us the bells and the
time.
whistles, but has also put us in debt to the point where we're
Yeah.
under stress so much as a family unit.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy anymore. I mean, I pay as I go, collect as I go. Mike knows my style, but I'm not preaching everybody should be like that. I'm just saying it's a solution if you ever want a solution, that's a good one.
Stress free.
Don't use credit. Pay as you go, collect as you go, live within your means, and you're going to have a lot less stress in your life.
But the whole world,
I get what you're saying. I'm just giving.
everything's all about what's your credit
get it.
score.
You have-
and
you have
You were
rent?
right. You were right.
I just paid off. I just paid off.
The only
so
payment you
sad.
should make is a house payment because real estate
everything's
always
about
goes
I
up.
just paid off a giant car payment, and my credit score went down because I closed. They
great.
closed the account. So, see, it's all bass backwards. It's wrong.
It is
it's
weird.
screwed up.
But
I
I'm
should
being
be
the devil's
rewarded
advocate
for
here when
paying
I
that
say
off.
these things. I'm
Yeah,
just
exactly.
laying it out there straight.
no,
They want
but
you. They want you to fuck
the
up.
credit card though is different because if you pay it off now, your score goes up.
Well-
but on a regular loan, your score goes down. Your debt to income gets better, but your score goes down. So it's all wrong.
You can get
Messed
in,
up.
you could get into the jealousy thing where I don't want you to be successful because I'm not successful. I don't want you to have good credit because I don't have good credit. That's a whole nother discussion. I'm telling you, psychology. Listen. Psychology plays a big role all day long in everybody's life, but people don't identify with that because they don't understand it. I understand it. I get why people do what they do when they do it. I've spent my whole life studying how this works, but people are blind to these things. And I get it. Well, I understand why, because they don't want to face reality. Nobody wants to face reality. You know why? Because it's too damn difficult. It hurts too much. It makes you feel bad about yourself, and nobody wants to feel bad. You have to look in the mirror and know who you are, and you have to accept that. And if you don't like it, do something about it. Change.
Get a new
Improve
mirror.
yourself. Make an improvement in your life.
Get a
Will that
bigger
make you
mirror.
look smaller? I don't know.
Hey, we'll go to the fun house.
Okay, I'll get off the soapbox now.
Okay.
Where are we at, Davin?
Soap opera.
Is it time for a commercial?
Yep.
Okay, Davin says, thank God. Get this guy off the soapbox, man. Okay, well, Soar High Personal Development is brought to you by America's Same Day Service, which is a home repair company, basically nationwide. You can go to samedayservice.com, place a work order for plumbing, heating, cooling, appliance repair, electrical, handyman, and so forth and so on. Also, Soar High Jiu-Jitsu, which is Mike's gym in Springfield, Missouri. If you're ever in Springfield, come by for 2 free classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights at 7:30 p.m. for adults, 6 o'clock for kids if you have children. Soar High Records, which is Davin's our producer. We have a variety of artists doing all kinds of cool things, making records and doing live performances and so forth and so on. So, all right. Well, any closing thoughts, guys?
Oh yeah. I think you gotta,
Mr. Talkative over here.
I think you got to do the right thing.
I think I hit some buttons today because
You
he's
gotta do
talking
the
more
right
today
thing.
than he's ever talked.
You got to do the right thing. You got to educate and inform yourself. Don't be ignorant. Come on, just don't be ignorant. Doing the right things. We talk about this all the time. Surround yourself with good people.
Yes.
People that can help you become better. All of this using common sense. I mean, all this stuff. A lot of this can be avoided if we just do the right thing, and we be kind to other people.
Okay.
Work hard. Use common sense. But a lot of this just gets pushed out the window. And stupidity and ignorance and just flows. And ego flows. All this crap flows downhill.
You're right.
Sorry, I had to throw that out there
I'm
just
glad
because.
you did.
Yeah, man, you gotta do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Davin?
I agree with doing the right thing. I also think that if you're young, like my age or so, spend your money. Who gives a damn at this point?
Interesting.
In the sense of
Interesting.
in the sense of like, we're gonna be lucky if the world lives another 50 years.
Oh, I see where you're coming from now, Mr. Mike.
I'm always in the mix, So I do agree with Davin, do agree with you, agree with Brent. Brent mainly. Brent had some wisdom at the end. Live by that code. Listen to Brent. And hey, rewind it like a minute, and you gotta listen to that shit again because Brent was spitting some good shit right there.
Brent's a pretty wise guy. He's been around a minute.
Wise guy. He called me a wise guy.
Wise guy.
Wise guy.
I didn't know.
Walking it.
I didn't know at first, but when I got around Brent more, I could tell he wasn't judgmental.
Well, he's a straight shooter.
He wasn't judgmental, and he's open book. He'll hear you out.
The only reason I'm judgmental is to get things out of people, to get them to be more realistic with themselves.
yeah,
I like
for
to bring
sure.
that out.
Let me expand on.
I'm not looking for a popularity contest here. I'm looking to help people.
Absolutely.
And whatever that means, whatever that takes. Yes, sir.
on what I mean by spend your money. So, my Madison is going to school to be a physical therapist right now.
Okay.
And she'll be $160,000 in debt. And
That's a little different. That's for an education. I get that.
I mean, I agree.
think that's cool.
I agree, but I think that's kind of outrageous for school.
Well, it's a lot. When I went to school, it was $300 a semester in college.
I'm $40,000 in debt
Oh my goodness.
just for 5
So
years.
you guys will be too big, too large, $200,000.
Yeah. So, but
Wow.
she talked to another physical therapist that's already in her career. She's like 35, 40. And she said like a big deal or a big thing for her was don't worry so much about paying your loans off really quickly.
Really quick, right?
Take that $300 a month and just run with it because you're going to be making $2, $3, $4, $5 a week.
A week, yeah.
So there's no need to even stress about it. That's what I mean by
I got you.
don't feel so like I have a large car payment and I have a large rent that I pay every month. Those are my main focuses, and I save that every month.
I get it.
Everything else, I kind of just, I spend on groceries and gas and things. That
I'm
I
not
need.
saying you're right or wrong. I'm just giving you information to help you to make decisions
And-
as your life rolls along,
Develops.
and you reach a point where you say, "Man, I don't like this anymore. What can I do?" Well, this is an example of what you can do to change that if it becomes an issue.
Ron,
Yes.
I think you're right because you're about to say. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sometimes when you like say you want something so fucking bad, and when you get it, you don't even fucking want this
Exactly.
shit no more. But I do agree. Think about it real hard. Like, do I really need? Well,
Do
benefit
I really
my
need
career.
it? Will it benefit my
like
career?
say like boxing gloves. I need boxing gloves. I need shin pad. My shit got stolen. Like that's gonna benefit my fight career.
Yes.
It's gonna benefit
I
my
get it.
way of thinking.
I get it.
But say like with him, I understand like he flips and sells like his fashion. See what I'm saying? Like say like whatever he's doing that for, he makes money doing that.
I think there's two things you should put money in, or three things: real estate.
Business.
Real estate. Everybody should own a home. Regardless, that's okay to borrow money to buy a home because real estate goes up in value. Number two is your health, which is really should be number one every day: mental and physical health.
That should be number one.
And those are all the ways to get
That
there.
should be
We
number
talk
one.
about it on the podcast all the time. And number three should be your business, whatever your profession is, whether it's your, being a producer, whether it's having your own company, whether it's a market, whatever it is, having your own gym, you got it. So those are the three things I think you have to invest in. Okay. So at any rate, we'll close it out by saying, if you don't give up, the stars will always line up. So until next time, stay positive.